Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. The story we're covering today is a very interesting character breakdown, where we find out why exactly Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man so much. Spidey has to sit down and have dinner with Jonah Jameson, which would also lead to Peter revealing his identity. For those curious, this is issue number 6 of the series called Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter is obviously very cautious as JJ prepares some lasagna. Their deal is in order for Spidey to get some information on ex-SHIELD agent Teresa Duran's whereabouts, aka Teresa Parker, Peter's long-lost sister, he must sit down for an hour-long interview for Jonah's blog called threatsandmenaces.com. Peter is actually about to leave, but Jonah starts talking, saying he got a tip that Teresa stole SHIELD data on how to defeat certain super people, and that most of this data involved the technical details of super suits and gadgets. Jonah says the info on supervillains was sold to SHIELD by the Tinkerer. Peter scoffs that he knows all this. Jonah then goes on to say that there's also the Tinkerer's brother called the Mason, who supplies superheroes. Peter realizes the Mason's lab was recently destroyed by the Tinkerer. Jonah makes Peter put 2 and 2 together that the Mason was literally just the Tinkerer in disguise. Spidey is about to leave again, but Jonah holds him to his deal. The grilling begins as Jonah immediately asks who Spider-Man is and why he does what he does. Without mentioning names, Spider-Man admits long ago he could have prevented a loved one from dying, but he didn't. Ever since then, he tries to save as many people as he can. An image of a woman dying in his hands flashes in Jonah's mind before he continues to ridicule the Amazing Spider-Man. JJ reveals that he was there in the beginning. He was a reporter when the Amazing Spider-Man began to promote himself and admits he had never seen anything like him. We see Jonah was actually astonished by Spider-Man as an entertainer. He tells Peter he should have stayed on TV and once again belittles the Spider-Man mask. Peter explains the mask is to protect those around him, while Jonah claims it's so he doesn't have to answer to anyone. Jonah raises his voice, saying he keeps Spider-Man in line, and this is where Peter loses it. He webs a framed Daily Bugle paper with Spider-Man and Scorpion on the headline. In Spider-Man lore, Jameson is usually the one responsible for the creation of the Scorpion as a villain, and we get a flashback of Spider-Man fending off Scorpion and Jonah in the Spider Slayer suit. Peter admits that people have died because of him as a consequence of being Spider-Man, but he's also saved the lives of countless people, while Jonah wastes all his energy trying to defame Spider-Man. Jonah demands Spider-Man take his mask off, and Peter questions why this matters to him so much. Jameson pauses before recounting how decades ago he and his girlfriend were mugged. She told him not to act, and as a result she was killed. The one detail he couldn't forget about the guy was that he was wearing a mask, like a coward. So here we get to the core of Jonah Jameson's infamous distaste for Spider-Man. Even when you strip away the layers of reasons Jonah gave himself for hating Spider-Man, jealousy, influence on the young, collateral damage, it's the fact that Spider-Man wearing a mask reminds him of how a woman he once loved was killed. When Jonah scolds Spider-Man for not even joining an institution like the police or the military to do good, Peter is in disbelief that Jonah, of all people, is giving him this speech. We flash back to when Jonah became mayor of New York and created an anti-Spider-Man task force. With all the resources at his disposal, JJ decided to target a superhero. And yeah, this is a really good point from Peter. It's one thing to be head of an annoying newspaper, but being mayor and still being so blinded by hate and revenge that you focus on tearing one person down instead of helping the many is unacceptable. And it's pretty good commentary on a lot of bad politicians today. This is when things start to get even more heated. Spidey has had enough and is about to leave when JJ pulls the responsibility card on Peter, who laughs at how responsibility is being thrown in his face when that's what gets him out of bed every day.
Laughing. Always laughing. Responsibility, mind control, clones. It's all a joke to you.
Bro, Jonah, I joke to put people at ease. To counter the mask I need to wear. I can juggle cars. That's terrifying. For others and for me. And this life's scary and sad. And I have to joke, because what's the alternative?
I know life's scary and sad. And you're what? A pretend clown? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? You're a coward.
Oh, get off it. I help people. You help no one. You're tiny. You're worthless. It's just that simple. You've wasted your life. You've got nothing except your stupid vendetta against me. Jonah? Jonah, I didn't mean...
Don't you think I know that I have nothing, that I've lost it all? You say you do this to save people, but you couldn't save my wife, my Marla. Alistair Smith, the man who killed her, did it because of me, and I live with that every day. But she came back, a miracle. clone, and I lost her all over again. You say you do this to save people, but you don't. People still die, don't they? I know I'm not supposed to hate anymore. It's killing me, but it's all I've got now. All I've got is you to prove it hasn't all been for nothing. To hold you accountable. My father's dead. My daughter's dead. The Bugle, the only thing worth a damn in this world, has rejected me. My wife is dead. My wife is dead.
Jonah, please.
Interview's over. I've got nothing in my life now. You win.
Jonah,
Get out.
no.
Get out. Please.
I'm tired of this game. It's gone on too long. You're your family. You think nobody cares about you? But I do. I care. You think you're alone?
What are you?
You're not.
Parker! Is this some sort of joke?
No joke, JJ.
You're Spider.
Yeah, Jonah. I'm Spider-Man. It was my Uncle Ben I let die back when I was the amazing Spider-Man. He's why I do this. He was. Now I do it because it's right. I'm begging you now, Jonah, to look past the mask and see the man. The man you've known all these years, who stood with you when your father married my aunt. You and I, we've gone through so much together. I told you I'd do this to save lives. And if telling you this, breaking this cycle, helped save yours, Did you tell the world that I'd be here tonight?
I was promoting the inner.
Unbelievable. Then they hear the FBI knocking at the door, as Spider-Man is currently wanted, and Peter has to leave, entrusting Jonah to keep their secret between them. We see Jameson with a look on his face like he doesn't know what to do now that someone is relying on him not to give up newsworthy information. This issue ends with Peter heading to his apartment, but with agents already posted outside. I love little contained stories like this where we can dive into the mind of a character that's prominent but rarely gets focused on. Obviously, the mask thing may not apply to every version of Jameson in Marvel media, but it's an interesting piece of backstory that can kind of influence how you perceive him in other comics, games, and even the movies. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. There's plenty more to come, so stay tuned, web the like button, and swing by for more videos.